as y'all noticed, I was born with physical limitations. I was born like this, and take these off so I can see anything. My mom, she grew up in North Louisiana on a cotton field, and there was a bunch of pesticides and stuff being sprayed. So, and like, I think she graduated 72 people in her class, and 9 of them were born either mentally or physically handicapped. So either that, or I think my mom was popping pills when she was pregnant with me too. So it's one of the two. I got 4 toes in the end, as you can see. Real neat, obviously. And then this leg is just a leg from the knee down attached to my hip. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. My mom and dad were both, they were both, I guess, recovering at that time. But my mom never really did get the point on how to quit. So that's what I was saying. We think she may have been popping pills when she was pregnant with me, but we don't know for sure. They divorced when I was probably about 3 years old, and I stayed with my mom in New Orleans, and my dad got a job in Texas. So I was with her most of the time until I was 9. She drank a lot, and she was also, I don't know if y'all know what Xanax is, but she was on Xanax a lot too. And when you combine those two things, I call it the reset button, if you don't remember anything or anything. So she was kind of neglectful. I wouldn't say she didn't care about me because she did, but there would be times where I'd have to wake her up or try and wake her up to get me ready for school, and I'm talking about in kindergarten, or to get someone to come over and get me ready for school and get to school. So I kind of was the adult at that time, and I was only 4 or 5 years old, so I was used to being the one in control. And I was also in a wheelchair then. I didn't have my prosthetics or anything like that. I was in an electric wheelchair. It went about 10 miles an hour, and had little wheelie bars on the end where people could hop on and hold on to the handles and go riding around the school boards and stuff. So it had its fun times, but at the same time, I couldn't be social, and I'm a very social person. I couldn't just get a group of friends together and be like, hey, you go see a movie, let's go. Because I had to worry about having a van, a lift, getting the wheelchair back and forth. So it had its fun times playing with it, but when it came down to it, it held me back from a lot of things. So I'm glad I'm not that way anymore. I don't have to worry about that. One thing I don't want to put off too, when I was saying my mom was neglectful, she did the best she could under the circumstances. As I told y'all, she was a drug addict, and you don't really understand that unless you are one. And you kind of put a lot of, I know you probably know a little something about that. I know your story a little bit more thoroughly than the rest of these guys. But, so I can relate to you a lot with that. My mom was the same way. One thing she did do for me though, is she always instilled who God was to me. Like we never went to church or anything like that. But before any big thing, any big events, we always prayed, got on our knees, prayed what's going on. And we weren't really big into the church thing, but she did give me an idea who God was, and I'm grateful for that because I have an awesome relationship with him today, and I'll get more into that later. When I was living with my mom, as I said, my dad moved to Texas, and I'd go visit him on the holidays. Usually every other summer's on the holidays, and Mardi Gras is a holiday in New Orleans. And it was February of '95. I went to go visit my dad, and the day before I came home, my dad got a phone call that my mom passed out at the restaurant and ended up in rehab. So what he did was he pulled the plug and got custody of me. And I then moved to Texas from that, and that was a crazy experience because I was a huge mom boy. I was inseparable from my mom and kind of being yanked away from her at 9 years old.